treasure bag to open. Yeah! I'm hoping to turn this into a episodely tradition of opening treasure bags at the beginning of each video. Breaker blade. Sick. Never had one of those before. Ooh, a demon heart. Sick. Never had one of those before. And now. Shut up. And now Harley's confused whether I'm telling the truth or not. Okay, so how do I consume the demon heart, Harley?
Just use it like a potion.
It's not letting me.
Have you already used one with that character?
No. I think I may have to go back into that world to do it. Hi, Theo. Actually, let's just do the tip. Let's just set up for tips and tricks in that world.
Yeah.
Pardon?
There's only more ones though. Right.
Fuck. Oh yeah. So, Berlin trip happened November the 11th. The 11th. Okay, so fun thing about this is that me and Harley both went. We're both in the same room. We both have the same stories pretty much. So anything that I get wrong, Harley might get right, and anything that Harley may get wrong, I may get right. I'm very hypo. Yeah, I used it.
That's me. Why are you being hypo?
Because this is fun.
Woo.
Woo, woo. Wee, wee. Harley and the Fun Police. So it all starts on the morning of November the 11th. Correct on that, Harley? Where I go in about half an hour before Harley. I'm not even kidding about that, guys.
I was like a little bit late for it.
He was like 5 minutes late. And then, while we were in there, we went, we've not even gotten to the first night yet, Theo. So we got on the coach and started heading to the airport. Funny thing is that the airport was so fun on the way there, wasn't it, Harley?
It was.
We got to the airport.
Oh, please.
No, I ain't deleting that comment because we're gonna get to that very soon. Actually, that was on the second night, so we're not getting to that soon. Basically, Harley and me and the co-founder of this channel were there, as well as someone whose alias will just be Study. Harley, I'll explain to you the reason behind that name. Basically, wow, I've said basically way too many times. We all got KFC.
Oh.
That was the first time I even had KFC.
Oh, I was like.
And I've not had it since.
I thought you said you liked it.
I did. Yeah, I liked it, I've just not had it since.
Okay.
So what? This is actually an important moment because this was when I'm sorry, Theo. Some people cannot have eaten something before, you know, because that's how humanity works. Where was I? Oh shoot. It doesn't matter who that is. Just some random person who came with us. So we started. Yo, hoodie. So that's when we got on the plane. I had to switch seats because the co-founder had a problem with panic attacks. So yeah, I had to switch seats. Harley, I can't say much about the flight because I was asleep throughout the whole thing. Take the wheel, Harley. What happened on the flight there?
Nothing exciting.
Oh.
I was just sat there talking to the person most of the time.
Let's call him Red Truck.
It wasn't. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all that happened.
Okay, so then we got there. Okay, see you, hoodie. We got there. We met up with this random guy. Still no idea who he is, he didn't even introduce himself. And then he took us to the hotel after 3 hours of trying to get there. You got anything to add to that part, Harley?
No.
So then we got to the hotel. I'd say that it was a brilliant hotel, personally.
It was.
They had terrible toast though.
She had terrible toast.
Then we all got given our rooms. Me and Harley weren't assigned a room yet, apparently. Me, Harley, and like 5 other people. So we all got put in this room.
3 of us.
Oh yeah, 3. No, because the others weren't assigned a room yet, if you remember. The others that ended up in that room.
Oh yeah, they did have enough people in their group.
Yeah. So then, here comes the first night. First off, it was a bad night, okay?
It was a fun night though.
I had a bit of food on me. I was eating throughout the entire night. We played a couple rounds of truth and dare.
Was it normal truth or that?
No, it wasn't. This is the most fun I've ever had recording a story time. Usually they're quite negative. And then Harley fell asleep in the morning.
Like half an hour.
Half an hour before he had to get up. This part, the co-founder, I want to nail him up to a board and punch him in the face 50 odd times for. He basically peed in a bottle, put soap in it, and then shoved it up Harley's nose. Which that's why I tried not to sleep for the rest of the time there.
Still does sleep the next night.
I think that's where Harley's cough comes from. So that oh, it's already 11 minutes pretty much. This is going to be a long ass story time, guys. So then in the morning we went to the canteen area thingy-mabob, which I couldn't eat anything other than chocolate cake there because it all had nuts in and I am deadly allergic to nuts, so get lost. I really shouldn't be giving information like that out in public.
No.
Attempted assassinations over here. And then we went on walkies to a tour. Was the tour the first day or the second day? First day, I think.
Yeah, because it was like a 2-hour long
So
tour.
we were on the way. We met up with the guy that we still don't know the name of. I was in. So if you don't go to our school, you won't know who these are. I was in Mr. Anstey's group. Harley was in. Harley, whose group was you in?
I was in Mr. Sweeney's.
Herr Sweeney's one.
Sweeney.
So then we started the tour. Okay, now skip to the end of the tour, considering the tour was mostly. There was no interesting parts, to be fair. There's not even a joke that I can say about it. It was just, you know, a tour. That's all I can really say. So then me and Harley joined back up after I had already gone to Dunkin' Donuts. Harley got a free donut. Didn't you, Harley?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah, I could only eat one of the donuts I bought because they all had nuts in.
That was the second day.
No?
Yeah. When we went to the bunker place.
Oh yeah, that was second day. Okay, that means that we can just get that shit out. There was nothing interesting about the tour, was there?
No.
Then it was lunchtime. It was lunchtime. Which, if I am correct, this was the lunchtime where nothing really happened. And then we went to the spooky place. Spoopy place.
Was that the second day as well?
No. Because we did... Was that the second day or the first?
No, that was the first day because we were in a rush the second day, weren't we?
Oh yeah. So I was correct about the spoopy place. Thank God. Yeah. So we at Spoopy Place.
I got scared.
I have actually got a lot more to say than Harley.
Oh.
Because I got so unlucky throughout the entire thing.
You did.
Firstly, so there was these two elevators and this one actor guy. I call him Guy because that's all he did. as well as talking to us about the dark side and stuff.
The origin of Night Dave, was it?
The origin of him.
Dave? No, Sir Dave.
Oh yeah, Sir Dave. We've got so many names for Mr. Anstey. So basically, me, Sir Dave, and Studart were put in separate elevators to everyone else. We were put in the one with the guy. Oh no. Person who I can't bother thinking of a nickname to, even though she's in like quite a few of these stories. So I'm just going to call her brain dead moment. So, this person is a little bit shy, and Hissy Dude starts hissing at her and asking stuff, and then I just did proper good stuff and just did a thumbs up to Hissy Dude. Did you hear that he shouted, "What is that gesture supposed to mean?"
Yes, that was loud.
And then I was just like, mate, I'm just saying hi. I literally just said, I'm just saying hello.
Hi.
And then Sir Dave was slowly creeping over with Emily. Thing being is that I've never really been that scared of horror stuff. So I didn't move. Everyone else went to the other side of the elevator. I was just there, standing right next to him.
You should have seen Mrs. Sweeney throughout the entire thing. It was hilarious.
I swear that the teachers were more scared than I was. And I was picked out twice.
And I was more scared than most people in there, and I wasn't picked out once.
So then we had Hissy Dude lets us all out. We go into this room. Holly, you take the wheel because I've not got anything interesting to say about the next rooms until the Black Plague one. I know that you can talk about Harley 2 with the courtroom thing, remember? The crime to fashion thing. And then I can talk about the Satan's fruit thing, because guess what? That's the shy girl I was talking about. Do you remember the one who was apparently dancing naked on a roof for Satan?
So basically, went into this room
with like this guy who was just like, "Wah!"
and he was like, things, just like, someone had like a white and blue coat on.
Harley 2.
And then, yeah. And he was guilty for
a crime of fashion.
Wasn't it?
A crime of fashion.
Yeah, the crime of fashion.
Where you had to say that he has a crush on the teachers, if you remember. And then the thing with... So, one of them, like I said, was one about someone who got told that the person was dancing naked on a roof for Satan. Which, first of all, that's just funny enough just saying that. Well, and the fact that the person had to say about how much she loved Satan in the thing, didn't she?
Yeah.
And now we've gotten onto the plague room. The amount of times that I have wanted to hide in a corner during a nightmare because of this is unreal, because I felt in danger. Because I was picked out. He put a sickle and scraped it against my leg, but like a fake sickle, nothing dangerous. A fake rat got pulled over my feet, and then after the curtains were there, and he was literally just not striking far enough into the curtain thing, but striking far enough so that it was getting quite close to me through the curtain, wasn't he, Harley?
Yeah.
And then, last but not least, you could hear, so he said that he was going to kill me, and you could hear this banging for everyone else and then screaming. It wasn't me, it hit a sensor, but he had an actual mallet. There was a board with a button right behind my head, and he was just whacking it. And I've got to admit, I was a bit put off from the rest of the rooms because of that. And to be honest, I think we should stop talking about this segment because, you know, that's like 1/5 into the actual thing. It was about a 2-hour thing.
Hold on, I've got one thing to say. There was this mirror maze. Yeah?
Oh.
I was one of the last people to walk out. And there was like a mirror. And like the actual way out. Like to turn to the other room. You're being stupid. Into the mirror.
I was one of the first out, to be fair. I was the first for everything in there, wasn't I?
The actor just started laughing. As well.
Oh. Okay, so then we get out, and this I call the story of Daddy Dave. If no one knows what this is about, then this is for you guys. So, again, Dave is Mr. Anstey, as we've explained once. And so, the thing about it is that he was very drunk throughout the entirety of the trip. Harley may not know as much as I do, but he was quite drunk. Harley was here for this. So, Shy Girl, don't know what more to say about, I don't know how to get a nickname for her, because I don't know much about her, but doesn't really eat much. And then, Daddy Dave was trying to get her to eat. And then he said, oh god, this is Daddy Dave coming out. And then for the rest of the trip, my entire group and the room which me and Harley were in, we're just calling him Daddy Dave.
People still do now.
Oh, I still do. It's Daddy Dave, mate.
I've gotten used to that.
Harley,
Yeah,
was the chocolate on the first day or the second day?
definitely.
Okay, so here was the first proper night. Nothing happened. Nothing interesting happened.
No, the
Yeah, it was the second night, but the first one after, you know, we had started doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then we get to the second day. Which first we were doing this memorial thing, very sad. I genuinely can't come up with any jokes for it because otherwise it's just offensive.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to say is that it was very sad and it ended with Harley getting a free donut.
Oh,
Wow, that took a turn. That took a very bad turn for the worst. I really shouldn't have said that.
I'm trying to say something. Bad person said when he saw the place that he wanted to jump on top of the things.
Which person?
The,
Is it who we're calling co-founder?
no.
Harley 2?
No.
Bedman?
No. I've already got his name for him.
We've not talked enough about Bedman yet. Probably because he's only got really one significant story in it.
He said that he wanted to,
Red Tank.
Oh, that's his name. Okay.
I'm just going to say that now, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
So then, after that it was lunch. Picture this. We are in a mall. Please, Ema Bob. My grammar did not work then. I had just found out that co-founder is very homophobic. Not going to go through the whole of that because I do not want to make this person seem like a bad person. Okay? We're just telling the honesty of the entire trip. And this is a very long video already, and to be honest, I could go on a rant about it for about an hour. So, picture this, we're outside of Jim McDonald's, overpriced as hell. Literally, I couldn't afford anything in there at that moment in time. Until I found extra money in my bag. Which, by the way, I'm still using headphones from Birlin. Yeah, Holly, I'm still using those.
It's been almost well, no.
Been a couple months.
2 months.
So then, we're in there. And this I absolutely had a go at co-founder for because he said, why don't the people here learn English? I don't need to explain why I had a go at him. I'm sorry, but I really don't. So then, picture this. We're doing this arts tour. I've always been a massive fan of arts. That's all that really needs to be said. If you know me in person, you will know this. So, the person who has given us the art tour, well, to be honest, this is sort of insignificant because guess what? The second day wasn't really that interesting. And then we went to get chocolate.
That was fun. Chaotic.
No, it wasn't because I couldn't have any. Everything in there was filled with nuts. But just a disclaimer. This night we're talking about could have been very dangerous if it wasn't for the fact that I'm only slightly allergic to hazelnut. This is genuinely a disclaimer. If it wasn't hazelnut, then I would have died. Because, you know, healthcare in Berlin we don't know anything about. I mean, they couldn't have legally put us through that healthcare. Fun! I instantaneously stayed down in the lobby for a bit because I didn't want anything happening to me because of the thing that happened to Harley the first night.
Oh yeah, and it was like a party in there.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't be arsed, to be fair.
I was sat in a corner because I'm antisocial.
So, you're talking to 42 people right now, Harley. How do you feel?
Oh, that's over mine. The bed person was not trying to help me out.
And I can't say much about the bed thing because, yeah, I was asleep throughout it. So, so now we cut to about 4:30 in the morning. I make the mistake of falling asleep. I heard people chuck the hazelnut chocolate in between my toes and a piece in my mouth, blow dry my feet and then chuck water all over it. And chuck one of my socks out of the window and take all of my bedding. Yeah, but I did tell them that I was allergic.
That's you. So I was still asleep afterwards, wasn't I?
Yep, I woke up. I knew I was having an allergic reaction instantaneously, didn't I, Harley?
I don't know, I was still asleep.
Oh yeah, it was Harley too that actually cared about the fact that I was having, you know, a wee bit of an allergic reaction. Basically I could start to feel my throat close up, which is why I'm lucky that I actually brung the tablets that'll stop my allergic reactions. I took one after 3 hours of putting up with it. I mean, it wasn't like I just took one instantaneously because at that point I wasn't sure. Could be anything. To be fair, couldn't have it, Harley. And then at that point we are downstairs eating breakfast. And like most of the morning, it wasn't anything special. We got the passes taken off.
About the person.
Pardon?
You didn't mention anything about the person.
Which one?
That night was fun.
Oh, yeah. I said that you should talk about the bed person.
I'll speak about it afterwards then.
Pardon?
I'll speak about it afterwards.
Okay, and so Harley, explain your part of the night, which you had.
So, I was chilling out on not my bed, my bed person's bed. That's also the same bed person's bed. So, yeah, I fell asleep. And then I woke up the next day to find that I had slept in the same bed as that person. And I was just like, well, as long as nothing weird happened, I'm fine.
And then he found out that he went all the way. Nah, no, nothing crazy happened, to be fair. I'm kidding, guys, they did. We just don't want to tell Harley that. Harley, how do you know that I'm not telling the truth? No. That's too far.
That is too far.
So, stuff start. We woke up, we had to take our bags down, didn't we? After thoroughly cleaning the room, courtesy of Daddy Dave.
Hold on, there's a bit of money down there.
Yeah, Daddy Dave forced us to clean the room, which I'm fine with. The others weren't though. I still haven't got that sock back. Wait, didn't we see a sock in the street on the way back to the airport? We did.
Has anyone picked up one flat 50 goals?
No, I have not.
Oh, God damn it.
Don't worry about it, Harley. So, after that, we had our breakfast. Again, I couldn't eat much. It was sad. I was lonely. Then we did our only activity for that day. Harley, explain to me what we did because I have no clue. Now, we did more than what I just said, didn't we?
I can't remember much.
Yeah, we just chilled out in the room for ages, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty stale day, to be fair. For, you know, going to Berlin. And then it kicked off. I don't know what happened, considering, guess what? I was barely conscious throughout the whole thing because I was so sleep deprived. Throughout that whole thing, I had only slept for 2 hours. And we started to head back. We got to the airport 10 minutes late for the flight.
Most people got split, like separated.
To be honest, we could explain it to the absolute moment, considering I have a completely different side of the story to Harley, because
So basically, I was one of the lucky few that made it before everyone had to leg it onto the plane.
I was in Herr Sweeney. I was like about a minute behind you.
Yeah.
But Herr Sweeney literally made us all run. Because guess what? Luckily, I'm an athletic person. Slightly. But it was a long run. It was from one side of the airport to the other side.
Yeah, Mr. Sweeney was stressed out for like, the entire thing.
Daddy Dave was actually crying on the plane because of it.
I think Miss Steiner was as well.
Poor Daddy Dave.
Made teachers have
Mental breakdowns.
Oh.
I mean, I was like, how many of us were there?
80.
There's 80 of us and 5 of them.
5 people from my group already got lost in the city that day, so... Nah, do you remember the bunch that got lost that day?
I know, you were part of it.
No, not me, but the people in Daddy Dave's group, so I can 100% understand why he was so stressed out about it. Because let's remember that if something did happen to any of the kids, every one of those teachers would be unemployed for their life, pretty much. Because it falls down on them. And they'd never be able to gain custody over children, I'll tell you that. So then we got onto the plane, started heading back. This is where the story gets stale as hell. Considering, guess what? Nothing happened at all. The journey back, nothing happened, to be fair.
Well, I started speaking to human beings more.
Ryan stopped this though.
Most interesting thing is that, do you know that pen that I took with me? It blew up in the middle of the flight.
What, on the way back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah.
Just threw the pen.
Nah, basically, it was a fountain pen, meaning that there was the little capsules in it.
Yeah.
It just completely exploded. And what I mean by that is I took it out for a second because nothing was coming out. And it just crumpled under the pressure. Under pressure.
You wanna put this in karate? It looks so cute, the uniform.
Who?
My little cousin.
Abby.
Why was there a random sorcerer's emblem in a chest?
That was mine.
Thanks.
Now I'm making Avengers emblem, but I can't use it right now. I don't know got enough room.
Okay, so after that, we went home. I took the day off, Harley went in. Because,
One of those people who took the day off.
do you want me to tell you why?
Why?
I actually came back really ill. We went to the doctors. I had only eaten about 1/10 of the amount recommended for one day for me. Because guess what?
What?
Literally,
Yeah.
I couldn't eat anything that was there, pretty much. So it wasn't really a choice of whether I could take the day off. I pretty much spent the day carb loading. That's the correct term, isn't it? Eating a shit ton of sausage rolls. And sleeping. Because, yet again, I'd only had 2 hours of sleep within 78 hours. No, 70... Yeah, 72 hours. I had only had 2 hours of sleep. So yeah, I had every right to take that day off. Harley, any after information that you want to say?
Yeah. Let's just say when I got home, I slept like a baby.
Anyone got any right news reminders? Their new segment of any news.
No.
Harley, I thought that you did.
YouTube channel?
Oh yeah. I've not really yet. It's happening.
Is it though?
It is. You just have to peer pressure around.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Harley?
You know what's wrong with you.
A lot! So, in this segment of Rye News, I would like to say something. I am very sorry about the BioRio. We can't actually play that on YouTube.
You can't, it's just your thing doesn't allow you because it's on PlayStation.
Exactly.
And stops the broadcasting when it's on PC.
Also, guys. Yeah. Do you guys like this new format? Because if you guys do, then good for you.
That was random.
Okay then.